Your unique story, our global audience. Global One Media.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of our Equity Analysis series, where we look under the hood and see the inner workings of different companies with Chris Thompson from eResearch. The aim of those discussions is to help you make informed and intelligent investment decisions. I am Moneer Barazi, your business analyst and host, and today I'll be talking with Chris about Datable, a technology company that has built Platform 3, a software as a service consumer marketing platform. Hello, Chris. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
For sure. So you've recently written an update report on Datable Technology. There seems to be a lot happening with this company, and I imagine you had to be selective in what to focus on. What did you eventually cover in your report?
Yeah, the company has a lot going on. They just released their Q3 2022 financials. And in September, they announced a merger with a much larger company, a private company called Local Marketing Solutions Group. As well as part of that, they're trying to raise about $1 million to fund themselves as they work towards this merger. So it's a lot of activity, for a micro cap company. So those are the three things that we covered in the report.
Indeed, lots of things happening there. But just to give a bit of context to our viewers, can you tell us a bit more about Datable and what they do?
Yeah, Datable is a Canadian-based software company. And it operates in the sort of the marketing tech and advertising tech space. And primarily what it covers is it provides software solutions for consumer packaged good companies or CPG companies or brands to launch sort of promotional and customer loyalty programs online. So if you go into a store and buy a product and there's a contest and you register online for that contest, they are the company that is tracking that information for the larger companies. And why this is important is a lot of the governments are restricting access to client information, and Google and Apple have also sort of limiting what personal information they're going to pass along, like with cookies, etc. So this first party data is really important for these CPG companies who want to learn more about their customers. And that's what they focus on. So they're a SaaS-based company, so it's a software as a service, and companies usually subscribe for, say, a 1 to 3 year package with them.
And Chris, to write your update report, you had to do a thorough analysis. How did they perform in the last quarter? That is the third quarter.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, Datable's revenue was only about $700,000 in Q3, which is down from Q2. We weren't really expecting that. They had a good pipeline. So I think there was some issues with getting customer solutions online, as well as there was some customers delayed some of their loyalty program launches or promotional program launches. So that'll be pushed into next year. It was lower than our estimate, which was over $1 million. But due to some cost-cutting measures, their net loss improved, and it's never good to have a net loss, but at least they're showing that they can execute on the cost-saving side of the business. We think that overall, though, for this year, for the first 9 months, revenue is up 12%. So it is showing, the growth potential in the company. And in November, they made an announcement that they have signed 4 client contracts this year, which is a 20% increase from last year. And they've contracted for about $5.6 million, although only 60% of it will be recognized for this year, but that revenue will be pushed into next year. So it will help with the 2023 revenue.
So hopefully there is good long-term potential despite the challenges. And in light of all of this information, did you make any changes to your estimates and price target?
Yeah, we reduced of course, due to the revenue miss, we did reduce our revenue down to about $3.5 million from over $5 million. And then we pushed that change into next year as well. So we lowered our revenue for 2023 down to $5.3 million from $7.9 million. So basically we shifted their growth ahead a year as they are moving forward. and our target price was lowered a little bit. And you can go to eResearch.com to download the 19-page report to see all the details and the calculations of how we did our estimate on our target price.
Excellent. I'm sure our viewers will find many detailed answers in the report. And before we conclude, Chris, I want to shed light on something you mentioned earlier. You said that Datable had a merger with Local Marketing Solutions Group. How does this merger fit into the business, and how will this impact the company going forward in 2023?
Yeah, this is an important part. It's a fairly transformational potential impact on the company. Local Marketing Solutions Group, or I'll call it LMSG, they provide some marketing automation technology and services in the small and medium-sized business space. So it's a good fit for what Datable is doing right now. As an example, what they do is one of the services is a full-service agency to do sort of local marketing solutions that are delivered to your home, which they call direct marketing in the business. And so it's a good fit for the business that actually Datable does. And right now it's a private company. So in some ways, this is a reverse takeover because LMSG has a much larger revenue. It has about over $14 million of revenue this year with positive EBITDA. So that's a big bump to what Datable would have for this year. And so for next year, the merged companies would have revenue of about $18 million and positive cash flow as well. So it'd be fairly transformational for the company itself. Right now, Datable is actually raising money as they pursue this transaction to fund the operations and for the deal costs. And they hope to, so that the stock is not trading right now, but they are raising funds in the market right now to help fund this transaction. It's an all stock transaction, so they're not going to use up any of their cash, and they hope to close this deal by the end of the first quarter of next year, 2023. So if they can do that, it'll be a transformational. And in the report, there's a little summary of how I show the impact of what this could be on sort of a target price as well. So the readers can go and have a look at that to see what changes it might be. But it's very exciting times for Datable, and hopefully they can execute on this acquisition and transform the company.
For sure. We'll follow the news and hopefully talk to you again soon to see how the situation develops. Chris, thank you so much for your insights and time.
Thanks, Moneer.